Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Rose. Now, I don't know much about this character outside of, who's under the mask and a little bit of the story behind how that came to be. So I don't know. But I know he's Kingpin's son, so that's why I got him, because I enjoy Kingpin, I like Spider-Man, so another rogue to add and has relation to one I already have, so that's cool. Get a nice little image of Rose on the side there. Get a couple extra accessories, couple guns, a little Rose, which is nice. Nice look at the figure on the 90s Spider-Man back. On the back side here, you get a little, look at how his hands work. If you don't know already, get a little description on the back. Let me pull that closer so maybe you can read it if you would like. And then, of course, we get a nice, I think it's the same image, isn't it? Yeah. The same image of the Rose. So, without much further to say on the character, let's get him open. And here we have the Rose out of the packaging, and it's a pretty decent figure. But before I get into the articulation, all the cool little details on him, I want to talk about the character, because I think he's kind of interesting. So, of course, if you don't already know, the Rose, spoiler alert for what, a 30-year-old story, is Richard Fisk, son of the Kingpin. Now, if you're wondering why that's significant, Kingpin's a massive Spider-Man villain, but you already know that. You're watching this video, I guarantee you have an idea. Well, Richard Fisk was thought to be dead. I don't know any of the issues. I want to get that out. I don't know the issues. I can't say all that. But he was thought to be dead in a skiing accident, and then I think it was he came back when his dad was on his deathbed, so the Kingpin was on his deathbed here, and teamed up with Hydra to try and save him, and even became like one of the highest ranking members, I think it was, in Hydra. If I'm wrong on any of this, someone just correct me in the comments. Please do so. I need the engagement. So after that whole thing happened, they team up with Captain America, take the Red Skull down, whatever. He teams up with the Hobgoblin to try and kill his dad. I do not know who was writing those stories. I went to Wikipedia and it says Stan Lee, but I know that's not right. If I can find a video, I'll link it in the description. It talks about Hobgoblin specifically, but it goes into more depth than I would be able to here, just ranting on. Anyways, teams up with Hobgoblin. At the time, I think it was Ned Leeds, and then, of course, he dies. It turns out to be Kingsley. Well, Richard, that plan didn't go well, so he had to confess to his dad, and I think that was the plot that got his mom, Vanessa Fisk, to kill him. So, yeah, the Rose died, apparently, and then during the Clone Saga was brought back to life by the Jackal. And I didn't read further than that because I think that pretty well sums up what I need here. Now, onto the figure. So, as you just saw there, this hand is not really made for holding his Rose. You can kind of squeeze it in there, but it is definitely a pointing hit. Well, it's going to hold now that I'm showing it on camera. I just pluck that out of there. So looking at the articulation on this figure, it's pretty decent, Arms come up about yay high. Do a nice little T-pose, I should say. Biceps swivel, of course, going on both arms. Double jointed elbows. And his wrist has a nice little up and down here. You can see, same with this hand. And I do believe these hands are newly sculpted. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And then these sets of hands here, he's got the nice fisted ones too if you want to use them. They're just the simple up and down like all fist hands are with Marvel figures. And that goes for both of them, of course. I just flung something at my foot. I don't know what it was. Something just came off the table and is now on the floor. Hopefully it's not lost forever. But, of course, he does have a... Let's see. He has a little bit of an ab crunch. You can kind of use, but his jacket just limits it so much. Oh, his head articulation. I completely forgot about it. So yeah, he can look down about that far. Looks up pretty high. His leg will kick out about that far. Not very good, but suited body. And I've seen people do like updates where they cut it so it's a lot thinner, and then they give a couple strips in the back. And I'm gonna do that to him because like right here, you can kind of see where there should be, where it's kind of a cut to give a little extra room to move. And that needs to happen. So I will update it, but I want to review the figure as is because it's a pretty good one. So, of course, he has a nice old double-jointed knee on both legs. It's a little stiff because I haven't messed with his legs a whole lot, but you can see there, his feet kick out about that far, kick up that high, and that's pretty good. Again, suited bodies normally have those, I don't know, I always call them the Loki feet because that was the first figure where I really had issues with them, was the TVA Loki, but I know they're older than that. The suited body. I think they're Chameleon, actually. I think it was on Chameleon. Was the first appearance of those feet. I could be wrong. Collectors can tell me I'm wrong. That's okay. And he also comes with 2 guns, one of which you have been seeing quite a bit of. Just a little pistol with an extended mag, and I would assume that it's not supposed to be a silencer. I don't really know what that addition is. And then, oh, it's just it's the same pistol twice, I think. Here, let's compare them. Is it? Yeah, I think it is. Just the same pistol twice, only this one has like a little aiming device on it and a longer mag, whereas this one doesn't have that and just has a short one, or a normal one. So that's cool, but let's face it, this is the better looking one. And it's the one the Rose will be posed with on my shelf. Looking nice, you know, just get the Rose in his hand, which, again, I have to knock him a few points. They didn't really give him a hand specifically designed for holding it. But you can squeeze it into that one, and it works just fine. I also haven't tried it yet, but I was kind of tempted to see if you could. I really wish they would make it so you could kind of make it look like he was trying to put one in there. You know, if you needed to, like, for toy photography or something. I'm sure you could still do it. You just have to work at it more than I'm willing to do on camera. Oh, might have just solved my problem. Kinda. If you moved both hands to cover it better, it would work. So yeah, it's a mediocre figure, I would say. You know, it's not their best, but it is certainly not a bad one. Like, it's worth your $25, more than that Chasm is that's part of the same wave. You know, it's worth more of your $25 than one of the worst Legends I want to say ever made, because I really don't like him. That stupid future Ant-Man that I bought but just for the Build-A-Figure piece and because he was there. But overall, it's a great figure. And I know I keep saying that. I'm just going to ramble. So before I go on my insane ramblings about why I like, you know, the Rose here, let's get him scaled up and compared to some other figures. So Richard Fisk comes in at a solid... I couldn't find the tape measure I normally use. I don't know where I put it. So, yeah. Wilson Fisk comes in at just under 6 inches. Just barely, and not enough for me to call it 6 inch. But comparing him to some other figures, we have the Retro Hobgoblin, the only Hobgoblin that I own, so don't ask for the original one. I don't have it. I know it's better overall. But please don't remind me of the fact I can't get it for a reasonable price. And, of course, the Build-A-Figure Kingpin. I love this figure so much. I was going to get the retro one, and I couldn't find it, was the main thing. But this is such a great figure, and honestly, I feel like it matches with the Rose so much better than an overly colorful Kingpin would. Just in case you want to recreate the one storyline I did talk about and mention for this one specific reason. We have the Red Skull, but my camera will not focus on either of them. There we go. Yeah, cool figure. Again, I don't know how that scales. I don't know Red Skull in the comics very well, but I got this figure because it was good, and I was getting most of the rest of the wave. And the reason you're getting the Rose for your Spider-Man display, assuming you have a Spider-Man display, you're probably getting the Rose so you can show him off in it. And of course, this is the retro Spider-Man from 2020, I think it was. Yeah, 2020. That was, yeah. I could not think of the year for whatever reason. And here he is next to Daredevil. From what I was reading, he never fought Daredevil or really was a villain to him. But I don't know. I feel like they have to cross paths at some point, given he's Kingpin's son. So, yeah, I don't know. But you probably want to put him on the shelf with him. And that is the Rose figure. Again, very, very good figure. If you have $25 laying around and you want to spend it on something, I would recommend this guy. So, thank you for watching, and without further ado, if you did go on to enjoy, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button, as it helps out the channel. And leave a comment about, facts about the Rose I didn't know or got wrong, or even just your favorite Marvel Legend, as comments are always helpful. But yes, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.